Welcome everybody to Ash and Nell with the Cosmic Retell. It's been a couple weeks. We are here, and Ashley, thank you for joining me. Um,
Thank
I
you.
don't. Had we done one together on the YouTube with the restream yet, or not? I don't remember.
I don't think so. I
Okay,
don't think so. No, I think this is the first one, which is
okay,
exciting.
it's exciting. I know I've done them for the Wisdom Wednesday talk. I just realized I'm hearing myself over here in the side because I'm trying to track comments since we show them on here. So I'm like, I am figuring out the technology, but my friend Ashley here, who's like a tech queen, a Canva queen, I told her she'll be really proud of me because I am now showing a different virtual background. So I'm like, I have Wonder Woman in my background. So I'm trying to like branch out and do all these different kinds of things with technology. So we're going to this age of Aquarius. Pluto's in Aquarius. We're having all this like, more AI and technology. So I figure I can just kind of embrace it and do a little bit. So, but anyway, we are here and we're going to talk about the new moon in Gemini. So Ashley, how has everything been for you? Let's start there because we haven't talked on here. I think it's been a couple of weeks.
Yeah, it's been a couple of weeks. Yeah, it's been busy. It's been so busy. It's been crazy. A lot has been happening. A lot spiritually has been happening. A lot of changes, positive things.
It's good.
It's been a lot. It's been a lot. And then of course, juggling the daily life sort of things of work and keeping children alive, the usual. But overall, I felt pretty good.
And
A
you
lot
just
of
moved,
reflection.
right? So you've only been in your new place for like a
A
month, or
month.
has it even been a
Yeah.
month? Yeah, so I'm
Hmm.
like you've dealt with a lot. You're like thriving in your Saturn return, I can say. Like you're just killing it. Like your life a year ago, like if we reflect back, like you were just getting into the whole tarot oracle world like a year ago, and now
Yeah.
you're doing things with mediumship and like doing more with your psychic energy and connecting to your community. So it's awesome. So if you guys stay on, we'll have a special treat. We're going to be doing some things with cards, and Ashley's going to share some things. So we'll get to it. So yeah, I mean we're in that energy right now. It was so nice that like we normally meet on Thursdays, and today is the new moon in Gemini, which is a perfect time to have this conversation. So it hit this morning. I think it was like 8:38 a.m., 8:37, 8:38, depending on the source. So we have that energy. It's not like it's over, like we're still in this new moon, new beginnings. Let's have a clean slate. That's why I love the new moon because it's like this clean slate. We know what happened last month, and maybe there's some things that we would want to fix, but like now we can go forward and like have these like new times, right? And I think both of us have been having like a lot of this like new beginnings starting. So it's like a very powerful time for both of us. I think Cancer Sun in general, like from everything I've been hearing, like all my friends who are Cancer Sun, I've been listening to the readings, like we're like on the back of the moving train. Like it's like the chariot card, like it's just going full speed ahead. Um, it's exciting time. So
It is a lot of stuff happening for sure. And it's, Nelly, it's people. Yes, I see it for cancers, but I see it just all around. Like there's a big shift happening for people and they're seeing things differently and like the intentions behind things are changing. Um it's things are like raising up, right? Like the frequencies are raising up,
yeah.
vibrations are raising, people are kind of getting to this different level of consciousness, and it's amazing. It's a lot of positive things coming through, a lot of challenging of like the negative old belief system. So yeah, new moon's a great time to kind of embrace that.
Right. And this whole year is a really powerful year because it's the year of eight. So it's like a lot of abundance, a lot of things. If we can like do it right and get things set up, it's going to be so much better for us. And they say like whatever you set up this year will set you up for the next 9 years. Like no pressure, but like I try to keep that in mind for myself because I'm like, okay, what do I want in place for myself? What do I want like with my coaching? What do I want with my own life? And so that's a good realization. And so many people are becoming more spiritually awakened.
Hmm.
And I was just before we started talking, I was talking with Frederick on our group, and we were just getting into like talking about that we're like in this age of Aquarius. It's going to really like be even more so in August. That we're talking about the 8-8 portal, and we're like planning some different things. And I was like, yeah, like we're in this exciting time where people are embracing spirituality, astrology, Reiki, Akashic records, like all of it, right? Like
Hmm.
psychic readings, like this world that used to be more hush hush or taboo is like mainstream in a good way, not like just try to capitalize off of it, but like have people really embrace it, you know? So, and
Yes, absolutely. I see communities of people just coming together. It's
mhm.
amazing, especially in my area. I'm seeing a lot in my area, and I'm helping to facilitate that, which is incredible. And I love it. I love bringing people together.
Well, remember we talked about that last year on your solar return. It's like this
Oh,
community was going to be like really big for you, you know. And it's
mhm.
like,
Yep.
and I know for me too, with the reading that I got was saying like how like the 11th house is going to be really prominent for me, and that's all about like that's that Aquarius energy, and that's like the collective and doing things differently, breaking the rules, which I like to do anyway. So it's just like what do I want this community to look like? What do I want this community to be? How do I want my life to look? And you know, impacting other people. So like we're doing it, you know, doing all the things with astrology. And hold on, I gotta look to the side here for comments. So thank you, Tracy, for joining. She's saying there's a lot of changes for sure. Yes, in a good way, right? Like one of the cards I pulled for myself this morning was the 5 card, and it said chaos at the bottom. And I'm like, yeah, I'm living in chaos and I embrace chaos. And, you know, the only way we have change is we have to have something big. You know, it's like you kind of almost need like a rock bottom, you know, moment, or like things have to get to that point until you like really change it, you know. And I think like for a lot of different people, they're having so many big transformations right now. So
Absolutely.
it's good stuff.
Absolutely.
All right, so we'll get into it. So we're going to talk a little bit about the new moon today. We're going to pull some different cards, talk a little bit about spirit, and yeah, I think it would be a nice quick one. And then we're still going to have our conversations into the summer. I know the summer solstice is coming up soon. I think it's the 20th. Oh my gosh, the 20th is a Thursday also. So I think we're set. If you can do that, Ashley, I will be back from vacation. We should do a talk because that's like a powerful energetic time. I think we'll do some, maybe we'll do something different or special, or I don't know yet. Maybe something we'll come up with. But yeah, so today we'll get and really like you know, and I've talked about all the time because I really do feel like this book changed my life is because about the manifesting. So this new moon astrology. So every month on the new moon, religiously, I write my 10 wishes, I hang them up, and I watch them happen, you know, or in the process of happening. So I don't know, did you get a chance to come up with some of your wishes, your manifestations?
Oh my gosh. I need to sit down and come up with wishes. There's just been so much going on, so much movement, like positive movement forward.
Mm-hmm.
I have a friend coming to visit. It's a friend of a friend, and we're supposed to talk spirituality. I'm supposed to have some group of women over on Sunday, and my mom's coming next week. So there's just so much going on right now. It's
It's
been
like
chaotic. I need to sit down and get intentional about what my wishes are.
okay, so that's your homework today. Me as a teacher telling you, you got to write those wishes. They
I
say
know.
they're the most potent. Eight like within the first day for sure, but definitely the first 8 hours
Yeah.
following. So 8:38 that puts us at 4:38. So like by 4:30,
Yeah.
just write them down. I just like literally all I do. I have this like special notepad. I just use this one. I write down my 10 wishes. I hang them up. I don't like overanalyze them. I like literally just like think about the energy of, you know, that particular zodiac, which is Gemini, and like what things do I want to happen and what do I wish for? And then we write it down and then we make it happen. So
Yeah.
it should take 3 to 5 minutes. Like
It
it
won't
won't
take
take
me
long.
long. I can do
No, and I
that.
was gonna say, like it's like I'm sure because like as we're manifesting, we're thinking about things anyway. We kind of know what we want to happen. And so it's just like writing it down. So yeah, I always tell people that. I talked to my mom this morning and she's like, isn't today the new moon? She's listening to astrology all the time now too because of me. And I'm like, yeah. She's like, okay, I'm gonna go write my wishes. She got off the phone with me so she could go write her wishes. But she was the first person I talked to about that last year before I even got into this whole astrology world in this group. And like I told my sister, started telling other people, and now it's like, no, everybody needs to write their wishes. So it's like, you know, it's this golden opportunity every month that you get to start over. Um, so I want to do it. So yeah, I was just going to kind of share a little bit about like this particular one because there's other stuff that's going on. And I don't know, Ashley, about in your world, do you feel like there's a lot of chatter, like a lot of like communication and collaboration?
Not just in this world.
Yeah, because
Yes.
the spirit
Yeah.
world, yep.
Yes, absolutely. And being like allowing yourself to be more conscious of that. There's a lot there. But there's a lot, yeah, a lot of chatter going on, a lot of busyness. a lot of busyness.
That's
Yeah.
the nature of Gemini, right? Like that's the different perspectives. And I didn't think about that because you connect with spirit more than I connect with spirit. And you're right. You're getting their messages and you're getting the messages here. So yeah.
It's a lot. It's a lot. And then trying to like decipher. And it's a learning thing. We'll get there. We'll get there. It's a learning thing, but it's a lot of fun.
Right. So we have a lot of planets in Gemini, and so that's really powerful too. So I believe there's 5. I have it written down. I didn't count this, but I think this is accurate. So we know the sun is there. So we know that for the month, and so we know today the moon is in Gemini. Venus, I think recently, John, I don't remember the exact day, but I know we had the Venus Cazimi overtook the sun, so it's in conjunction. So Venus has been in Gemini, which is also my Venus, and so like that, is at home for me. And then I also have Jupiter in Gemini, and so does everybody now collectively for the next like whatever 18 months or something around there. And then Mercury also just joined the party, which is this is the ruler of Gemini anyway. So we have like so much Gemini energy right now. Like I've been having conversations like all the time, every day, through the roof. It's almost like my Libra moon, because like when it's Libra moon, I tend to be more talkative with people, but I feel like I'm literally living Libra moon every day with all this Gemini energy. So there's a lot. And I think it's summer, right? Because it's summer, people are like communicating, they're out and about more. Our mood is better because the sun is out. Like I feel like all of that's impacting us.
Yes. And you think this is around the time when people start really taking vacations and like enjoying themselves and things kind of start to like lift up. It's like that dreary sort of feeling of winter, and then like spring can also sometimes be dreary with rain and the weather. It's like that's starting to lift and people are starting to live like their fullest happiest self, which is great.
So true. It's like it does affect our mood, like when the sun is out, like I just feel happy even if I'm like in myself emotionally not happy, but it just creates a mood. But when it's like cloudy and raining and dreary, it like impacts all of us. So it's like we need that vibrant sun, like we need that. I'm okay with the moon too. I'm okay looking at the moon at night. I just don't like when it's cloudy, rainy, snowy. Those are not my favorite times. But we need the different seasons. But I think like just generally, like I think that, and that's why they probably focus on the sun sign so much too in astrology when they get people in, is because like the sun so much impacts us. It's like a big part of our identity. So lots of Gemini energy. And let me see if Tracy said something. So let me just do a quick check. Summer solstice 20th, full moon in Capricorn 21st. Oh, I got to keep track of that. Like, I feel like we're constantly moving. It's like, I'm like, okay, I got to get my new Gemini, like the Gemini moon readings. And then I'm like, okay, before I know it, it's like, okay, it's going to be time for the full moon. So it's like, it's constant. So yeah, so the 20th. So we will think on that. That'll be interesting. And yeah, it's gonna be back to back then. Back to the full moon.
Big.
Capricorn, yeah, full moon in Capricorn. I'm okay with Capricorn. I feel like we need some grounding, right? That Capricorn will be grounding for us. I think that'll be helpful because Gemini comes up with lots of ideas but doesn't always follow through. Mm-hmm. So maybe that full moon can help us like really like make sure we're doing what we want to do.
Absolutely.
How about all the Venus energy? Because you deal with couples, like in your therapy, and like we just had this Venus Cazimi, and there's like a lot of flirtation. Like, what are you seeing in your world over there, like with people?
Things have been intense. It's been intense. What I'm seeing as a common theme right now has been codependency.
Oh yeah.
A lot of codependency, a lot of giving to others, but not taking care of yourself, and then becoming resentful over it because you're not speaking your needs, like that sort of thing. But like intense conversations. But I'm also seeing more stuff leaning towards intimacy and sex as well, and communication about, what those wants and needs are too. So it's trying to, it's funny because we talk about this and it's like, well, does it come in line with therapy? Absolutely. Like I can see the patterns working with couples and even individuals when these things are coming up. So like, me, Nellie, I was skeptic, and
it shows up. Well, it makes me think of Mars a little bit too, because Venus is like the love, but not always the sex part. But like I think of Mars, I think of Scorpio energy, 8th house. Like I'm thinking that. But I was looking at somebody's chart. I did a reading with somebody last night, and we were looking at her chart and her transits. And like I noticed like where the Mars was, and it's like North Node, and I'm like, okay, like for some people, like that's faded, like and Mars like is like that action. It's like it wants us to take action. So depending on where it is in your chart, some people might be having it around their seventh house, which is their partnerships and marriage. Some people might have it in the eighth house, which is the intimacy, the sex, the taboo, the mystical, all that kind of stuff. So yeah, and maybe like when people are coming to you for therapy, they're like living that like really tumultuous time, and that could be that's where their transits are. Or like the one person I had, she had like a lot of first house transits, and I'm like, well, this is your time to like figure yourself out. Like the universe is saying, like she had like 6 planets transiting first house. I'm like, you're supposed to be focusing on yourself right now. Do not worry about a relationship. Do not worry about the job stuff. You focus on you, because you can't be good for another person. You can't be thinking about a job if you don't like have yourself figured out. So I think it's so fascinating with astrology. Like you could do like a quick look at somebody's chart. You have a snapshot of like, okay, what was it when they were born, and like what's going on in the sky for them right now. And like you just know. It's like the secret world. Like, you just know.
It's amazing.
And as a therapist, like that, like is so beneficial, because it's like if they don't want to tell you something, let's say, and you could have access to their chart, and like you could be like, oh my gosh, this person's having so many transits. Like I don't know if you can do that. I know it's clinical and whatever.
I have to stay clinical and trust. Maybe one day I'll be able to.
So cool, the intersection. Well, think about Carl Jung, right? Carl Jung, therapist, and was so into astrology and the shadow and Pluto. And Deborah Silverman, who I listened to, has been a therapist forever and an astrologer. I think like they work hand in hand, because it's like what's impacting your behavior. You know what's going on in the sky. If there's a full moon, it's going to impact people's emotions. So and we also have, so this is like, because we were hearing about Pluto before. There was stuff with Pluto going on. I think it was like a weekend or two ago. But we also have Saturn on the scene right now, and Saturn is casting a square with the new moon, and also like the sun, the moon, and Venus. They're all together. They're all like this little conjunction. So squares are not so fun. Squares are, it's like kind of fighting with your friend when you think of like having that square. And so we have Saturn, the boundary planet. It's kind of like your parents, right? Like, or your dad, or whoever you want to think of. Like, some people say daddy Saturn. It's like you have your dad, and here you want to have all the fun. You got the sun and Venus having a party, and the moon, and all in Gemini. And then you have Saturn and Pisces. So that we have this too. That's also going on. So that, and it's not a bad thing, right? Saturn's not a bad thing. Because sometimes we need those, the rules and all of that.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and sometimes I think for me, you, not in a bad way, but I think you can be that Saturn, because like you're good at like keeping me in check. Like
I'm good at keeping other people in check. I'm not always good about keeping myself in check.
I know, but you're good at keeping me in check, because sometimes you're like, Nellie, you said you're going to be teaching this astrology thing. Like you actually have to do it. And like, it's like, because I can have all my Gemini energy, because I do. But then I'm like, okay, but am I actually going to get the thing done? Am I going to finish the project I said? Or am I going to like get involved in 10 things and not do them? Because I can do that. But you also have an Earth Grand Trine. So like you have that grounding piece. And I think that that's helpful. And Saturn is Capricorn energy. That is very grounding. It's like, okay, so like what has to be in place? Okay, all these lovely Gemini ideas, but like what are you going to do with the ideas? And and are you going too far? Is your communication inappropriate, right? Because we get into Venus. Are we being too flirty? Are we crossing boundaries, right? So
right,
it's interesting. So I think like, as you're seeing your clients, it might be kind of interesting, like keeping all this like in the back of your mind, and like listening to what's going on with them. And I'm like, are they being codependent? Because that codependency, like that's also like connected to Venus, like in your relationships and in your love, and and I think boundaries are so big for people anyway.
Yes, 100%.
So, lots of good stuff. Let's do a quick card thing, because I know we have a few more minutes, because both of us have to get back to our jobs. But let's do a quick card. I was going to do Moonology and see what comes up.
I'm doing it too. I'm doing Moonology today as well. Same deck.
Okay. All right, let's do it. Let's see. Mix them up. didn't even pull my own Moonology card. I used to always, but I did the one for I did it on the women's group. I did it, but I did not do it here. So let's see what the collective needs to know. Well, card wanted to flip out, but it didn't. So let's try this. Okay, we got one to flip. Oh my gosh, Tracy, this is too funny. The card that just came out says full moon in Capricorn, which is the energy. I don't know, you can't see it. So, I have my virtual deck. I'm gonna do it harder. Okay, full moon in Capricorn, which says the end of a tough cycle approaches. Thank God is what I say. The end of a tough cycle approaches. I've had a tough cycle. I've been ready for it to be over. I do feel it lifting. I do feel it's over. So I think this is a nice energy. And if we're going to have this full moon in a couple weeks, I think that's good too. It's kind of like hold on. Even when everything is feeling difficult, just hold on. Things will get better. So yeah, I like that. I'll take this picture after so I can keep the comments up. And then Ashley, tell me what you got.
We've got it's time to take action. We were just talking about taking action. It said here that reminding us Saturn and Pisces cast a square to our new moon, reminding us that in order for our dreams to come true, we must take action. Time to take action.
Yeah. Well, that's what I feel like. I kind of like woke up this morning. I always love the new moon mornings. That's like my favorite ones. And because what else did it hit me? Oh, because in my 369 manifestation challenge thing today was day 17, and 17 is Aquarius, the star card in tarot. And the 17th for me, I love that day because I always think, okay, this is your hope day. And I'm like, oh, that's so cool because my 17 day coincided with the new moon. And I changed my manifestation today on there. So I'm doing a different one because I'm like, what do I really want right now? I don't want to stay with the same manifestation I write every day. If I don't feel I still need it, or if I feel it's already occurred, like, why am I going to bother? Like, it's taking action and doing what makes sense. So I like that. All right. So Ashley, give us a little snippet of what's going on in your world with the mediumship. Cause like, I haven't talked to you that much lately. And I got really excited last year when you were starting to get those messages. So,
and then I stepped back because I was afraid. Yeah.
So what's going on with all of that with you?
Well, there's a lot, Nellie. I've been delving into more spirituality. So the mediumship stuff's coming up, and I've done a couple of readings for people. And it's amazing when it's still a learning process. Like I'm still in this learning, and my guides are also learning with me. So they're learning how to communicate messages from spirit world, from the loved ones to me. So I'll get songs that will pop into my head that may be like messages, like earlier whenever we were talking, because I'll get stuff that comes in randomly sometimes too, and it doesn't necessarily relate to anybody else. But we were talking a few minutes ago when I said I was a skeptic. You know that song from Shrek, like the I'm a believer, like that song came in my head. Like it's just these random things, and it's just those are like confirmation of where you're at.
I have a little too of that. I sometimes have the songs hit too.
Yeah, and the thing is to pay attention to those, because that doesn't necessarily, like, you have different communication coming in from different guides, of your higher self. So your higher self is actually your soul, which is kind of incredible. Like you're communicating with your soul at a deeper level. Like our souls are kind of separate from our human body, but they live within us. Try and wrap your head around that one. Like there's so much to it. But when you connect with your higher self wants the best for you and wants you to be able to fulfill all of your dreams and all of, like, that's what you're here for. You signed up for a plan coming to this world. So it's a lot there, but the mediumship stuff has been really incredible. And I've been doing some free readings. So if there is anybody who's interested in trying out a free reading, I can't promise I'm going to be able to get everything you're looking for, but the practice for me is helpful, and it's helpful for my guides too. And I love doing it. I'm just as amazing.
I love that for you. I'm so excited. Well, I love when my grandma comes through when we connect. So I'm your guinea pig for that.
We need to connect some more, Nellie, for sure.
We will. We will connect. So it's awesome. Okay, well, Ashley, thank you for chatting with me today. I'm Ashley Nell and the Cosmic Retell. Thank you guys for joining, and those of you who watch on replay, Feel free to reach out. We have a lot of exciting things ahead. Stay tuned on the group. Keep inviting people to the party. We have a summit that we're going to be doing that we're just developing ideas for. So Ashley and I and a lot of others on the group are going to be part of that. So that's going to be really cool. So yeah, just stay tuned. More exciting things to come. And please, like, I still have to learn all the words with YouTube because I haven't learned it. I'm like, so everything is so slow for me. And sometimes I'm Taurus energy when it comes to this stuff. But please like, follow, share, subscribe, all that stuff so we can get like more people to see this, since now I can't use StreamYard anymore. So I've switched to YouTube. So we appreciate you. So thanks again, Ashley. Happy new moon in Gemini day. All exciting things. Keep and do your homework. Manifest your 10 wishes. I will check back up on you later, and you know it. So
I know you will.
Write your wishes. All right, everybody, write your wishes as well. Have a beautiful rest of the day. Enjoy the sunshine. And we'll see everybody back in 2 weeks for the summer